The Chaunce Hayden Show is sponsored by Stitcher Radio. Listen on the go via the Stitcher mobile app. For more information, go to Stitcher.com/GFQ. Location provided by Sapphire New York. Visit them at nysapphire.com.
You think you have me all down, you think you have me, I will always be one step ahead.
Don't hurt me, for real. Ah! Look at her teeth! No, she has fangs! I'm not even kidding! Oh God! Oh my God, are you insane? Hey everybody, welcome to the Chaunce Hayden Show, broadcasting from the Sapphire Gentlemen's Club in New York City in the Boomer and Carton VIP room. And tonight, we have Michael Lohan on the show, which is a big deal. I have my co-host, Stacey Prussman here, which is I said it right.
You said it right, finally.
Which is pretty exciting stuff right there. Well, Stacey's here, and what makes this show so tense and scary tonight, and why I seem a little jittery, is because, first of all, when you have Michael Lohan on the show, anything can happen.
Really?
Right? Well,
I don't know.
Just read TMZ. Read about, I don't know, a page or two at TMZ, and you're going to see the Lohan name's going to come up at one point. So, I'm going to tell you a story, and this is why I'm very jittery.
Should I be jittery too?
We should all be jittery in the room.
Okay.
All right. I can't believe we have Michael Lohan on the show. I can't believe it. The last time I spoke to Michael Lohan, it was after I had written an article about Michael Lohan that was not, let's just say, complimentary.
What did you say?
He had just had a baby with his, I don't know if they're married or not, Kate Major. You know Kate Major? She was the one that went to rehab and had all those problems. And she used to be a writer for Star Magazine. And she used to be Lindsay Lohan's personal assistant. Right. Then she broke up the marriage of Kate from...
Oh, plus 8.
Yes.
With that guy.
Yes.
That you never hear about again.
You never hear again.
Right.
John Gosling.
Right, Gosling.
So she's the one that broke up that marriage.
She was the
But
one?
she was, yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually...
Was she the younger woman? No, she was a different... I don't know.
You're thinking of the other one, Heather.
Okay, let's get to the point. What happened?
Well, anyway, So what happened... So he has a baby with Kate Major.
Okay.
And I wrote an article about it in my Naked Truth column in Metropolis Nights magazine. Now, I never in a million years thought that Michael or Kate would ever read the article. Okay. It's local. We're a local North Jersey magazine.
But it's called the internet.
I know. I was being so stupid. Everything gets out there. I totally get it now. So anyway, I really let it fly. I mean, I really was brutal.
What'd you say?
But when you know me, when I write an article, I mean, it can be over the top, but I'm really... It's kind of tongue-in-cheek, like I'm being over the top, trying to do it in a funny kind of way.
What did you say?
I should have brought the article in. I didn't. I want to forget it. I want to forget like it never happened. I don't even want the article in the building. So anyway, it was bad. I think I called...
So you wrote a really bad article.
I think I referred to the baby as like the spawn of Satan. Something along those lines. Like
so their baby? An innocent little baby?
No, I think after not particularly the baby... But just how these two should not be giving birth to anything.
Okay.
I mean, that again, I'm not pretending it was the right thing to do.
Okay. So
I regret it. I totally regret it. But I was really just having fun with the whole thing.
Right.
You know, come on. It's
right,
funny.
Like a comedian.
There's a
like if I went on stage and
there's some comical side story to Michael Lohan and Kate Major and the whole thing and having a baby, and he just had a paternity suit, and it turns out he has another kid out in the Midwest.
Okay.
All right, and he has all those other kids on Long Island. So listen, I just thought it was kind of something worth writing about. So Michael Lohan sees the story, and he has a notorious temper. You know, I mean, he's been in jail.
I know he was. He fights. He yells.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Didn't he hit his wife?
Yeah. Well, that's not. I don't want him. Yeah. So he did all that stuff.
Great.
Because he's going to watch this show and he's going to get mad again.
Well, we have.
So I don't want to get him. I don't want to get him mad again.
And bouncers and whatever.
But yeah, I mean, I don't want Michael Lohan to see this show a week from now and then want to beat me up again.
Wanting to beat you up and actually beating you up are two different things, Chaunce.
Yeah, but I don't like anybody even wanting to be, especially when they're going to be in a room with me. So he's going to come here, this door's going to close, and there's a part of me that thinks he's doing this show tonight to attack me. that he doesn't think there's any other way to get me alone in a room. So he told his publicist that, no, I'm fine with Chauncey. I'll do the show tonight.
I feel like I'm like a mediator of a divorce or something.
I'm a little nervous. I'd rather he sit on that side of you and not you sit here and him sit where you're sitting. Okay. I want there to be separation. And I'm going to be nice to him. I mean, I have some important questions to ask that have nothing to do with any of that stuff from the article.
Wait, are we not letting? You're not going to know Lindsay questions? That's like.
Of course, we're going to ask Lindsay. That's all we're going to ask is Lindsay questions. That's why I want him here. But I'm just afraid. His publicist said, no, Michael has no problem with you. That he says that it's all in the past and he's over it. Not to worry. He's looking forward to coming on the show. That doesn't sound right.
Up and she's a hard show.
That does not sound right. No, there's definitely something going on. So I'm very nervous.
All right, so we got to figure.
I'm not a fighter. Like I'm not a good fighter. Right. I'm not good at it.
All right, I know.
Like I'm not. I'll run. Like I'll literally run out that door. He'll have to chase me down the street. Like I don't want to fight anybody. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not. Like I'm just not. No, that doesn't matter. You know how hard it is to hit someone.
I'm not gonna.
You have to go like this and move.
Look,
I don't like moving. I don't.
You're dressed up today. It's not.
I don't like moving my body in any direction.
Okay, no one.
I don't like mowing my lawn. I don't like cleaning the house. I don't want to fight. That's too much exertion.
I don't think it's gonna be violent.
I don't want to get hit. I don't want it. My face hurts. Like my face hurts when I brush my teeth. I don't want my face to get hurt.
My dad used to go, "Does your face hurt? It's sure killing me."
I know. This is not. I know. I shouldn't really care. What can you do to this face? But I just don't want to feel pain. I just don't.
All right, we're gonna.
Like this hurts. Like this hurts.
Should we do meditation so it's like a?
No, what we're gonna do? We're just gonna pretend nothing happened. We're gonna pretend that everything is fine and that we love him and he loves us, and we're just gonna forget there were any bad words ever said. Like
you hooked up with somebody and you don't like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
no. We're just gonna talk about being old friends and everything's great and. Like it's like going to be that big pink elephant in the room, and we're going to pretend it never happened.
Well, I could play dumb.
You can play dumb, yeah, unless he happens to bring it up as he's leaping across the table.
All right, so
that's what I'm worried about.
Who's he bringing?
I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know if he's coming with a posse. I don't know if he's coming by himself. I don't know.
But who did he come with last time?
He came with a whole posse last time. He came with like 8 people. The last time he did the show, but that was fine. That's a whole nother story. That we could do a show on the last show we did. Because he had to. All right, I'll say this before we go to break. So the last time he was on his show, and again, this is a very clean show. I don't want to get racy, but he accused me of doing a horrible thing.
What? Besides writing the article?
Oh no, on Twitter. He actually tweeted that I did something awful.
What?
I don't want to get into it. You know, it's so bad that I don't want to discuss it.
Tell me private.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Come here.
What?
Yeah, yes.
Are you kidding
And he
me?
put it on Twitter. And yes,
that's like a really.
That's a really bad thing to say about somebody.
Right.
It's a terrible thing.
Is it true?
No, it's not true. And it was awful to say, but so anyway, that's what. That was the last. So the last time he came on the show, he came to apologize for saying that.
Why do I think that's funny? It's so outrageous.
It's so outrageous, right? And to put it out there publicly, was insane. So my defense was when he threatened
like jail time.
My defense was, well, that's what you get for saying that about me. That's That's what you get.
Oh, he did that first.
He did that first.
Oh, why would he? Oh.
That's why I had this deep-seated anger.
Oh, you didn't say that to me in the beginning.
No, well, I don't like talking about it. As you can imagine, I don't like talking about it.
No, but if he said that about you, of course I'd write the worst article about him.
Yeah, that's like the worst thing in the world you could say about somebody. Mm-hmm. So anyway, let's take a breath.
Okay.
When we come back, we're going to address maybe all these things with Michael. Maybe we won't even talk about it.
Okay, I think
we'll just talk about something else. We need one of these Budweisers. Actually, the King of Beer is one of my favorite beers.
Me too.
Budweiser's amazing.
I like light.
Do you like light? Budweiser
yeah,
light?
I love.
I like light and Budweiser.
I know. I'm always watching.
I like to drink Bud Light and light at the same time.
Really?
Oh, it's absolutely.
You mix it together, half and half.
You mix it together. So it's not really Bud Light. It's Bud Kinda Light.
I like that.
Bud Kinda Light.
By Chaunce Hayden.
It's sorta a lot of calories. I don't know.
It's like half of the half of the half.
Yeah, it's half of the half of the half. Anyway, we'll be back right after this break with Michael Lohan. So we're back. You're watching the Chaunce Hayden Show here at the Sapphire Gentlemen's Club, New York City, in the Boom and Carton VIP room. And as you can probably tell, Michael Lohan isn't here.
No.
As we come back from the break.
No, you replaced one drunk with
We
another.
replaced one former drunk with another. Michael Lohan, I believe, is clean and sober. But one thing I can tell you for sure is that he's not here.
No.
Now we were just discussing this, especially during the break, what the odds were of Michael Lohan not showing up. Apparently, Michael Lohan called his publicist this morning and said he would not be showing up to the show, but no one notified us.
No.
Now this.
I mean, obviously, Chauncey. I mean, that's the thing that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Why would you notify the person that they're gonna go see?
Well, what makes it weird is the publicist was just putting on Twitter that he's here now doing the show. So how do you explain that? How do you explain that? Only in a Lohan world. This can only happen in a Lohan world.
It had been on purpose. I think it was
Well,
on purpose.
this is the debate. Now, this is what I want to ask both of you guys. And Andrew, of course, if you're watching this show now, Andrew is the owner of the GFQ network and has his own show, What the Tech, and you're the face of the network.
I'm the face of the
So
network.
unfortunately you see all of the craziness that goes on with this show.
Yeah.
So it's great to have you here right now.
Oh, thank you.
During a typical Chaunce Hayden show.
Yeah.
So I got to ask both of you. Now, Andrew, you weren't here for the beginning of the show, but Stacey, from what I just told you, the secret that I just told you about what Michael Lohan put on Twitter about me, and then what I down the road wrote about him, do you think this was intentional, or do you think this was just an honest screw up?
There's no way this was an honest screw up. I mean, it happens, but the past is so intense and horrible. Like
The past is so intense and horrible. Now, Andrew, do you know what the past? Do you know
Yes.
how this all started?
Yeah.
I can't even repeat it.
Are
I
you
won't
talking-
even repeat it.
You
You
don't
know
want
the
me to say
crazy-
No,
that?
I don't even want to talk about it.
you know the tweet.
There's an allegation.
There's an allegation.
A serious
A
allegation.
Very
the
serious.
most
Very
serious of all allegations you could ever imagine that Michael Lohan put on Twitter about
About
me.
you.
Oh, it's so awful. And you know me, I'll say anything.
Did you call a
I
lawyer?
won't even repeat this. I would have called a lawyer had Michael Lohan not come on my show a week later and publicly apologized for what
But
he
that's
said.
like a crazy thing to do, also.
But
It's a
why
crazy thing to
why
do.
did he say it?
Like what
Because
was
the story behind this, and here we go, we're basically lighting the match again and throwing it into the gas
Just
can.
light it, Sean.
All right, because it doesn't matter. So this all started. I can't believe we're going to talk about it again. This all started a few years ago when I was at Stepping Out magazine. I had written a movie script about Scores, which is really where we are right now. This is Sapphire, but in those days it was called Scores.
Right,
And I had a gossip column that I wrote about Scores called Eye on Scores. So I did that for a number of years. So I made a movie script about all the celebrities and everything that went on here, because it was like Studio 54 in those days. And it was a pretty decent script. So the Star magazine did a big giant story about it, right?
really?
Oh, it was amazing. They put pictures of all the celebrities that were in the movie and, that I included into the movie. So the woman who wrote the story was the senior editor at Star Magazine. Her name was Kate Major. Kate Major, we all know as the woman who helped break up the marriage between John Gosselin and Kate Gosselin from John and Kate plus
eight.
plus
John
eight.
and a different Kate.
Yeah,
Kate.
John and a different Kate plus 8. So we're having dinner. She asked me to dinner after she wrote the story at the Thompson Hotel here in New York City.
Like a date dinner or like
It was like a work date dinner. She said, "Listen, you have a lot of contacts. I would like to have dinner with you and just exchange contacts."
Okay.
So she's an attractive blonde woman. She was a senior editor of Star Magazine. So I said, "This is going to be amazing. Of course I'll have dinner with you." So we had a bite to eat. We had a bunch of drinks. We had some more drinks.
You talked.
And anyway, 3 hours go by. And then she leans over and she says, "When are we going to talk about our contacts?" I said, "Kate, we just spent 3 hours together talking about our contacts."
And you did talk about the content.
We talked about publicists that we knew. We talked
Okay.
about writers and editors that we knew.
People you could recommend.
Yeah, back and forth. So it was a great little get together. She goes, "When are we going to talk about our contacts?" I said, "Isn't that what we just did?" She goes, "No, I mean contacts." And I said, "Kate, I don't know what you're talking about." And she leans.
How confused are you?
Very confused at this point.
Like,
Like,
what do
I'm
what do
assuming
you
she's
think-
drunk.
What do you think she means by contacts?
Publicists.
Publicists.
Publicists that help get
Paparazzi,
interviews.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, paparazzi, publicists, all that kind of stuff, industry stuff. that could be mutual
Agents, things like that.
agents, things that would benefit both of our careers.
Like good, right? I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean,
you-
she's
and
at a
those
tabloid. I'm doing tabloid type journalism. We
Okay.
were exchanging information.
I know that was on the table.
All on a table.
Okay.
So she leans over and she puts her hand on my knee, and she says, and she whispers. She goes, "I mean, people to have sex with." She goes, in LA.
Like a matchmaker type thing?
No. She goes, people to have sex with for money. Like she goes, "I have sex for money." Her exact words were, "I have sex for money," and I'm like, wait a second. I thought she was kidding. I'm like, "Kate, come on, stop, please." Oh, that's so funny. Oh my God, you're so funny. She goes, "No, I'm serious."
She's telling this to a gossip columnist?
I know. That's the crazy part about it. Is that the worst person in the city you could have told was me.
Well, wait
there
a
was
minute.
nobody
Do you
worse to tell but
I
me.
know.
Nobody
Nobody.
worse. If you literally, if you could have threw a dart into the city and it could have, no one could have landed
I don't
on it
think
worse than me.
Russia Malloy wouldn't
Would not have been better because I have no
It's so
moral. I have no
crazy.
morals and no character. Like I won't keep that a secret.
But you have to, but even like, I would never, if I was a prostitute,
Yeah.
like in that way, like you have to be so, and I had a big job like that.
Right.
Even like my job, like if I was doing prostitution as a
Right.
comedian, which I'm not,
Right.
I would like, that's like super secret.
Super secret. Like I wouldn't tell that to anyone unless I really knew them. Like I
And
really,
even then,
I
I
would.
would
Yeah,
be-
even then I wouldn't. And it's wrong on so many levels. Because the other part is how, even if I am the right guy, who do I know?
Well, she doesn't know that.
But
She
who
thinks-
do I know that's going to spend $2,000? My friends
watch Celebrity
spent 20
Content.
at the Lincoln Tunnel.
Okay, do you
Dollar,
think?
$20.
Do you think it was a setup for you to write that story?
Well,
Ooh.
okay. Now that's a good point. I was actually thinking that. I said I must be set. I'm being set up right now.
to write like a bogus story, and they're gonna say, "Oh, look, Chaunce Hayden."
There's somebody is setting me up. That's exactly
Because
what
this happened once with you.
Yeah.
This happened with Opie and Anthony.
Absolutely. I thought I was being set up.
Okay.
So what I did, I said to her to cover myself, because you're absolutely right.
That's what I think. I
Absolutely thought it was a setup. So I say to her, I said, I don't know anyone that has anything to do with that world, except for one person who I interviewed a couple of weeks ago, named Kristen Davis, who is the madam who provided the escort for Elliot Spitzer.
This is post Spitzer then.
Yeah, this is after Spitzer already got outed, and she's done tons of press, and she actually went to jail for it. She
Okay.
actually spent time in prison
She
for
was
it.
actually in
She was convicted for it.
She was in the Post yesterday.
Yeah, because she's always running for office.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I say to Kristen Davis, you're not going to believe this, but I have a friend who's the senior editor of Star Magazine who wants or claims to be in the industry and wants to work for you or get your contacts and give you a cut of what she makes. She goes, well, sure, have her call me. So she actually exchanged emails back and forth with her, and it was true. Kate Major, she forwarded me all the emails. I'm a escort.
Did you have like a website, like a Kate?
No. It was a secret, all secret, under the table.
Now,
Like-
is this?
It's kind of
This
crazy.
is all
Kinda
alleged.
crazy, very
that
crazy.
Chaunce, this is all.
Well,
it's
what?
not. It's
Yeah,
not really
no.
alleged
Well,
because
we
it's
have
all
the
documented.
emails. So this is the point of the story where Michael Lohan gets involved. So this guy, when Kate Major made a lot of news during the John Gosselin scandal. Of course, I'm a gossip columnist. I put it out there. It ended up in the Daily News that Kate Major was doing this on the side, and this is a secret life she's living. It was a big exclusive for me.
That's
you know?
a very big story.
It was a huge story.
It's a crazy story, actually.
Crazy, huge story. We got press all over the world. So, she tells Michael Lohan, who she's now dating, that I did something very awful that we can't discuss. I won't discuss because it's so awful to even say.
She said that to Michael.
And Michael put it on Twitter. And
But okay, so we're not going to say what it was.
no, but you're
but,
not going to say
It's
what it
really
was.
awful.
But
It's
was
so
what
awful, it's
Michael-
ridiculous.
Did she say to Michael what Michael posted, or did she keep it vague and Michael assumed that?
No, she gave Michael details about
She's a
it.
manipulator.
Psychotic
Oh my God.
details about it. And Michael posted on Twitter everything about it that she told him.
I remember that because you had just started doing a show.
It was so awful. So I of course had a lawyer up and I said, Michael, that's insane. That never happened. I said, you're gonna have to fix this. So he said, well, prove to me. Show why. How do I know this is wrong? I said, I'm gonna tell you about your girlfriend, and I sent him all the emails. And he immediately apologized. He said, oh my God, I can't believe. Because then she turned around and accused him, by the way, of beating her up.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's off her rocker.
And then when I used to watch Celebrity Rehab.
Right. This whole thing with Celebrity Rehab when she came there and it was
crazy.
Crazy.
And Dr. Drew was like, "Yep, you
Get everybody out of the pool. Like this, it was even nutty for Dr. Drew.
Right.
Like she's crazy, but she's
wait a minute,
too
what
crazy
happened
for
to
Dr.
Celebrity
Drew.
Rehab? What happened to Celebrity Rehab?
Michael Lohan was on Celebrity Rehab, and so Kate tried to bust in and get into the premises, but of course it's a rehab center. There was no visiting at that time, so she threw a conniption on the front lawn, and they basically had to drag her out of the building.
Oh my God!
It was psycho stuff.
And they always had some.
They wanted to admit her. No, then they wanted to admit her. She was so out of control. They wanted to put her into rehab too, and she flipped out, went totally crazy. You know, it was a classic Dr. Drew moment.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So he comes on the show and he apologized to me in front of all the press for claiming that I did the things he said I did, and so
How did he meet
we
her?
kissed and made up.
How did he meet her?
I don't know how they met. That's very suspect too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it cost him anything to meet her. We don't know. But let
And
you
then the
imagine.
other one, and the other one, and then the other John Gosling guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, when did she? Is she still writing that?
No, she hasn't worked
Did
yet.
she
She
lose
just had
her job?
Yes, she lost her job.
Because
She
of
got
that
fired.
article?
I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but she lost her job soon after. So I don't know why. So now she's down in Florida with the kid, and I'm assuming she's with Michael Lohan. We don't know because we were going to ask Michael Lohan about it today, but
Okay.
we're not going to get that information
I
because he
think they're
blows
together
up.
because I'm
So,
sure they were.
so here's the thing. Here's the question.
I have to go.
Do you think Michael Lohan did this on purpose?
Yes, I do.
You do.
I think he did.
right.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't he? Why would he come and face you after this whole horrible thing?
I don't know. I think it was on purpose too. This is how we should leave it. Let's stay tuned.
Okay.
Let's see what happens next Wednesday if Michael comes back on the show. We'll be back next week.
Thank you.
Good night.